Welcome home.
We are here to talk about the 7th episode of Star Trek TNG, Lonely Among Us. First aired on November 2nd, 1987. And teleplay is by DC Fontana. Story by Michael Halperin. Directed by Cliff Boyle. And in-universe date is 41249.3 in the year of our Lord 2364. Adam, I'm going to ask you, what are your initial impressions?
The all-new adventures of Star Trek, The Next Generation.
It just starts out very strange, as per usual, with these fresh new episodes of Enterprise that I've never seen before.
Enterprise, or you mean
well,
the Enterprise?
TNG.
TNG, okay.
Next Generation, whatever.
I thought you watched a different episode then.
Sorry. Oh, yeah, it starts really weird. We've got two delegations, is it? I suppose two different groups of people that are coming in to be part of the Federation. I mean, at this point, when I see this, I'd actually like to see and review the lists of the members of the Federation to see what qualifies you to be a member of the Federation, because why would you select these two groups? Is beyond me. Why are they even considered is beyond me at this point. I'm like, I'd love to have known the process behind that. But here we are.
Anything else about initial impressions, or is it my turn?
Oh no, they just seem very cartoony and very.
Who does?
Just the
crew.
Two delegates, the two different groups. You got the snake people and the dog-like people.
Yeah, the Antikins and the
names. I can't remember.
It's okay.
Yeah, and they all have to make some sort of weird noises to sort of solidify that they are snakes. Like, the other ones eat raw meat or something. It's just all very weird. Yeah.
Okay. So the whole cloud thing didn't bother you at all. You weren't fussed by that in your initial scan of the episode.
That's the main. That's what I mean. Another thing. There's two different plots here. There's like the main plot, which is probably the cloud thing, and then the subplot, which is the delegation thing going on to join the Federation.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
I remember this being a bad episode when I watched it, even like years ago, with some terrible acting, and I do remember Worf's growl when he's like at the control. Face. Right. You see his yellow teeth and everything. It's like, dude, you haven't brushed your teeth today.
And then his fall as well.
Right. They actually said they don't have any stunt coordinators or movie level stunt guys to actually make it look like one good thing about Discovery and the modern Trek shows is they actually have movie level quality stunts. So it's become much more sophisticated. Right. But on these early TV shows, it's like there's no hope in hell. Let's just make it up as we go along, and you can see the stunt doubles. But I also forgot about the dignitaries, and I was more involved in their story rather than the cloud story. But overall, I thought the episode was funnier than I remembered. Only because I'm an adult and I'm going to read into it and make jokes about it. But as a kid, I'm like, these two guys are ridiculous and this cloud monster is just pointless.
Yeah, this episode raises more questions than gives any answers, definitely.
Let's try and answer some of those questions. Would you like to begin with good things, or shall I begin with good things?
You begin.
Okay. I've got a list of them here. There are some great ship shots. Like external.
Oh, there is, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So
yeah.
I like that. There's some variation, and because they reused the ship, obviously, many times. Even in Encounter at Farpoint, you had the Excelsior ship, the Hood, with the Enterprise. Mm-hmm. And then in a later episode, you had the Repulse or the Relentless or something, another one. But that shot, they can reuse it and take away the Excelsior class. So it looks like a unique shot on its own. So here they've got some new visuals. So I enjoyed that. The energy that we talked about from the last episode review of the crew working together.
Yeah.
Perfectly fine. I like that. And I liked how the delegates are trying to murk each other in the corridors. And they dim the lighting. And some people say that in Star Trek Nemesis, they should have brightened the lighting because the Remans would have been blinded because they don't like bright lights. But here they dim it because they're trying to like get one over each other. And I'd actually watch an episode of them hunting each other on the deck on the different decks, and that would make a great idea for a lame episode of Lower Decks. Just FYI.
I don't get how they were able to do any of that stuff. At one point, they just assaulted Riker walking down the
Right.
corridor. It was
Right.
just-
The guys in red.
yeah.
Why do you think that's the other member of the species that you're trying to like decapitate, strangle,
Yeah.
eat, whatever?
Plus, don't they search them when they come on the ship? Like they had these weapons or whatever on them. I'm just,
Right.
what is
And
going
you
on?
can't replicate them in the replicators unless they've
No.
hacked them. But yeah, so how did they get that contraband on board?
Yes, that's all right. Because I said so many questions, so many more questions than
It's
we have
actually
answers.
it's actually a point of contention in DS9 when Worf is upset at the way Odo works on the station, and he's like, "Oh, you're letting all these security lapses get by, and we wouldn't do this on the Enterprise." And then Odo starts like chiding him and saying, "Actually, I've got your report here. This happened. This happened. This happened. This happened." And then I think today of this, like they've got those nooses
Yeah.
on the stick. Like, how did they get on board?
Exactly.
Tasha's not doing
Exactly.
her job properly.
Some highlights for me were obviously the snake guys were quite funny and they're hilarious introduction to when as soon as they beamed on, it was just cartoonish to me, like how they were
Okay.
acting and they were, I don't know, it's just it straight away I was just sort of put off by the whole thing. And then the cloud thing happened after that. That was another thing that sort of was a highlight for me where Worf, we mentioned it before, he got zapped by it. And Geordie saw it and
A bit
then
of it,
didn't actually
yeah.
bring it up. He didn't actually bring it up again when it happened again on the bridge to Picard. So Picard got then infected with the cloud thing. And then Geordie's right next to him. Shouldn't he be seeing these colors thing? Nobody on the bridge saw anything. And then the captain just acts completely different.
Yes. You know, in that moment where he takes
Strange
over,
thing.
he takes over the consoles, and he's like, "Zzz," and everyone's like, "I can't
Yeah.
move." If you just try and watch it and try to ignore the laser bolts, it looks fucking terrible. Like everyone's like,
I was going
"I
to say
can't
that was another
reach."
highlight for me. The acting in that bridge when they all getting zapped. Like I think Beverly's just like this at one stage, just like covering her eyes, or that might have been I forgot her name now.
You mean
What
Troy?
the counselor. Yeah, Troy. She's just there like and I'm just like, what is happening?
If you go back and watch it again, and just as Picard puts his fingers, he does the Emperor Palpatine right on the consoles. Data reacts first. The actor playing Data reacts first. And in my mind, they've obviously rehearsed it, but you can put it down to the fact that he's got android reflexes. So Geordie's still
I
like holding
suppose.
it normally, and then Brent Spiner just gets in, and there's like a half a second difference. Oh man, so bad, so good.
This is like what the sixth episode now,
Seventh episode.
seventh episode, and I'm optimistically waiting for it to get good.
It is good. What are you talking about?
Come on. I'm just like everyone's acting so ridiculous. Picard's
Well-
still acting like a dickhead.
Well, we're laughing about it, so I had fun. You had fun, clearly.
No, it's fun. It's funny, but I'm waiting for them to sort of find their footing and the plots to become a bit more, I don't know, a bit more serious. I don't want to be too serious, but I don't know. So,
Mate,
like I say, the cartoony aliens who are going to be Federation members is just a bit like, come on now.
it's not realistic, yeah. But this is it until we don't get an upgrade in the acting until Riker's beard comes onto the scene in season 2. So this is as much as you're gonna get, I'm afraid.
You know, when you get into further, you start watching more Star Trek and more Star Trek. You don't see any of these races ever again. I want to see where the hell are these races. You know?
Well, an argument can be made that if you keep reusing the same races, then it's kind of got small universe syndrome.
Mm.
The Pakleds, for example, you see them I think once in TNG, and then they're in the background in DS9.
Okay.
Do you remember
Alright.
the Pakleds? No, we're in season two.
Vaguely,
We
vaguely.
are smart. Make us go. We are smart. They're in lower decks as the big bad villains of season one, I think. This episode is where Data starts to become Sherlock Holmes. I didn't realize.
Oh yeah. Oh
So, and
yeah.
it's how does Picard like? How does he allow this?
I know he's smoking on the deck. He's smoking on the ship. Is that
Right,
allowed?
and it's actual smoke because Tasha's like waving it
Well,
away. It's
Sherlock
like
Holmes was famously famous for smoking like cocaine, wasn't he, or something, or doing drugs or something.
I have no
So
idea.
was he doing that on the ship? Was he going full into it?
There's many times though where Riker gives Data a look when he's smoking the pipe. Riker's like pretty chill. He allows all this nonsense to happen, but Picard's
I
like,
love
no,
it.
no kids and no
I like
smoking.
it. Like Tasha sort of looks at Data now like she doesn't want to like know because they had that interaction. She's just like, oh no,
Well, she's
it's
already smoked
embarrassing
his
for
pipe.
her.
She doesn't need to
She's
see him
like,
smoking
nope.
another one. Hey, the highlight for the episode for me was when O'Brien has to break up the mice and the lizard people.
Red alert! Red alert!
And there's a second appearance of Miles O'Brien, and there he is because he's
Yeah.
listed as a security officer as well, so it's his job to do that. But can you imagine? He hasn't married Keiko yet, but can you imagine if he had, and Keiko asks him how his day was, and he replies, "Jesus!
Jesus Christ!
I had to stop a fucking giant mouse man and lizard from devouring each other." And then she probably says something like, "Well, that sounds bad. Can't get any worse." Well, we also lost the captain to a cloud monster, so you can't have a normal day, can you?
Going back to them two different idiots, the races, they want to join the Federation, yet they're just not endearing at all. They're not doing anything to sort of help their cases in joining the Federation. As soon as they get on the
Right.
ship, they're insulting people.
Right. Yeah, it's a bit. It's like 0 to 100 straight away. Oh, they were here
Yeah.
first. You picked them up first. Well, there's two groups. You're either going to be Group 1 or Group 2. There's no Group 1, Group A
Yeah.
nonsense.
Yeah, exactly.
I've got two favorite lines that I got from this episode. One
Go on.
when Picard is like being taken over, and he leans back in his chair and he's like, "I'm really too busy for this kind of nonsense."
I'm sorry, I really am too busy for this kind of nonsense.
Feet up on the table. Just like, fuck it.
I like it
Like,
when
the alien
he
says that
steps
at
up
him.
to put a heading in for a new course, and
Okay.
he's just like, and then he says the course like he's on a game show or something. You're
It's like he's ordering a 4-course meal. Like, I'll have the beef stroganoff with a round of oysters.
so
but-
weird.
The way the alien speaks, it's like, I know that you need to show Picard is not Picard, but he's leaning back like
Yeah.
chill as fuck. I don't need this nonsense. Don't bother me anymore, bitch. Ah, so funny. And right at the end of the episode, Tasha reports a murder, and Riker says, he literally says, "Can this wait?"
Oh, I know. Yeah, he just dismisses her. He's like, "Oh, go away. We haven't got time for this."
Right. There's pools of blood on the floor of some deck, and he's like, "Listen, hold your fucking horses. I need to speak to the captain." It doesn't make sense.
It makes zero sense at all.
Oh man, the TOS music should kick in. Da, 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 and they should run down and find out what's going on. The episode could have been another 20 minutes, just figuring out who's killing who.
I will say though, as ridiculous as these episodes have been so far, I think they're like they have more character and more sort of oomph to them than say like the new Trek. Basically, they've got
Okay.
so much more to them. There's more imagination, I'd say, definitely, 100%.
Okay.
100%.
Okay. Well, it's inspiring me to think of shit up to make this episode more funny. because when Tasha's like, "There's a murder," can you imagine if the floors weren't soundproofed and you could hear from downstairs like, knives chinking off the metal floor plates and the side panels, and like that would have been hilarious if someone could like CGI that in just the sounds. You know, everyone just runs off to find out, and then da 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 just ends. Ah, fucking hell! But hey, it wasn't all good, was it? I'm sure there's bad things you'd like to share with us.
But you liked them, but I thought they were like a subplot. They weren't the main plot. The main plot was the cloud thing. They seem to be forgotten about. Like as the episode went on, I sort of forgot like they even were there. And then when they cropped up again, like in the hallway, I was kind of, oh right, yeah, they're still here. There's still a thing that's happening in the background.
Right. There's no thematically. There's no connective tissue at all.
Yeah, it just sort of went off on something else more important than the picking up two different groups of races to have a meeting about who can be in the Federation.
If it's to add tension, because the Enterprise is wasting time, if it's to add tension, then the things between the aliens should escalate even more. Should get worse and worse because they're being delayed.
Yeah, it just sort of like they ended up just being inserted into certain scenes, just like oh yeah, they're still here. Look,
right, it all happens off camera.
Yeah.
Everybody be cool. Can you imagine, like, from Pulp Fiction, Picard gets on top of the deck somewhere. Any one of you fucking pigs, move! I'll execute every motherfucking last one of you. We're being delayed. There's a cloud monster taking over the crew. Hold your fucking horses. Kill each other on the planet or something. Anyway, did you notice Tasha in her dress uniform?
Yeah. Well, they both were wearing dress uniforms, weren't they?
Yeah, Picard but Tasha. Yeah, but I don't care about Picard. I'm looking at Tasha.
Well, I was going to say, like, they look a bit ridiculous.
I thought they were fine. What's wrong with dress uniforms?
They just don't look very good.
I think they look great. They're not very well fitting, but they look great.
No.
This is the did you notice section. But did you notice how long it took for the medical extra to get up after Worf knocked him down?
No.
It took him ages. It's like when a brother and sister knock each other over, and the brother isn't getting the attention from the parents because they're looking after the daughter. So he's like, just takes longer to get up and waiting for someone to respond. It's like that. Or some cheating bastard football player who flips over by accident and then says he got kicked in the shins. Just wants sympathy. That's what it looked like.
Let's see.
You should watch it again if you can be bothered.
No.
Last week, by the way, we were talking about stereotypes about the Scottish engineer. Do you remember?
Oh, yeah.
And I said, oh, why don't you just replace him with an Indian engineer? And then boom, this episode has a fucking Indian engineer.
They heard.
Oh, I was like, damn, I was right. Yeah, they heard me back in time. But maybe subconsciously I already knew.
Maybe.
Did you notice it was kind of convenient that he was the only one that died? Worf didn't die. Beverly didn't die.
It's always the ones that it's always the unnamed people that die.
Not only Mr. Singh had a name. Don't forget, Mr. Singh.
Who knew?
Well, me clearly.
You're the only one.
But they just killed the ethnic minorities on this ship. In the first episode, it was that Hispanic guy, and now this episode, it's the Indian guy. And the Memory Alpha actually says that this is the actual first death on the Enterprise. So the Hispanic guy survived, but still, he was the first one attacked.
It's funny you mentioned like obviously the ethnic people and all that. They are the ones who end up dying. When they ever pick up delegations or different races, they always seem like lower class compared to like the Federation and like all the people on the crew on the board. Like they always seem like they're all idiots. They're all a bit stupid. They're all a bit primitive. And it's like, oh, they get the privilege of becoming part of the Federation because they're all so backwards. And they're never represented in a very positive light in these early episodes. They're always so stupid. And you've got to wonder, like, how they got warp technology? Like, they must have if they're considered to be in the Federation.
Yeah, they've got to have warp technology as a prerequisite.
Yeah. So I really would love to see the list, the waiting list. There's got to be some sort of review list of like members or potential candidates to be in the Federation.
Sure. Did you notice Wesley's got his superpowers back on again in this episode? Figuring out shit.
What?
He's talking with Mr. Singh. Right.
Yeah.
It gets worse, by the way.
Also,
there's an episode I'll explain in another episode, but it gets worse.
yeah. Also, like I said, this episode raises more questions. I guess Picard isn't really Picard anymore because he went into the cloud, like he beamed into the cloud, and then they sort of rematerialized him back because he was stored in the bloody ship's database or whatever it was. And then Geordie, who's like the chief, like transport guy, doesn't really know what he's doing. But
It's hand waved away.
They sort of figured it out. You think they would have ironed out like the kinks of like transport, technology and stuff by now at this point, but no one seems to really know. That's what I mean. There's way more questions here because like Picard comes back and it's like, oh, what happened? Like the real Picard could still be in the cloud somewhere, but floating around in space.
Well, maybe that's why it's important to figure out who he is before they investigate the murder, right?
Yeah,
Maybe.
I guess that really stuck out to me. That did. I was like, wait, this is weird, and everybody just gets on with the business. And they're like, oh well,
Right, they're
that
verified.
happened.
Yeah, in the
Let's move on.
in the memory alpha, they do actually point out that it's a bit of a cheat. The ending cheats its way,
Yeah.
and they shouldn't have done that. So they know
No,
after the fact.
it's
Did you
very-
notice Data's hands were pink, or Troy's
No.
fake nails? You didn't notice those things. There's a bit where Data's with the pipe, and he's got pink palms. He's got pink hands,
No.
like a
No,
yeah,
no.
like you know how black people have got like pink hands, same as him.
Okay. I did not notice. They must have
Did you
just-
notice? Did you notice Beverly put her hand on Wesley's lap?
No.
Mate, I don't want to read into it too much because it's a mother and son relationship, but they're both actors. And if I was like 14 and a woman put her hand on my lap, I'd have to do a retake, I'm afraid. Let's just leave it at that.
You know.
Watch it again. Like it goes
Watch it again.
goes halfway up, but it just seemed out of place the way
I
they
know. You've gone
the way they're
into a weird place. No one really ever brought this up ever. You're the first one to ever
Maybe.
bring this up in a review.
maybe.
Yeah.
Well then, maybe it'll open the floodgates. Get it?
That's where your weird brain is taking this.
Okay, we haven't even talked about bad things yet, and I've got some bad things.
Have you?
Yeah, it's a great
on,
episode, but still some bad things. The
A great
Anna Troy.
episode.
I would watch it again.
Stretch it out there.
I would watch it
Hello,
again.
You keep saying.
I can't wait to get to our mid-season and we get to rate all these episodes. Don't forget to rate them, right? This is definitely top 5. How did Troy not notice Beverly acting weird? How has Picard got patience for Data's cosplaying? I mentioned that before, but there seems to be some shortcuts. Like Troy should have realized that she's acting weird. Yeah?
You reminded me of something. You reminded me of
Oh, yeah?
something.
Is it also
Like
sexual?
Beverly was like operating on. She was in the medical bay, and she had that weird, stupid helmet thing on with like a fucking knife. What was that? I've never seen that piece of technology ever again.
Yeah, it's got a targeting scope as well.
I was like, who designed that? Somebody went, wear this.
What medical device is
Brilliant.
a targeting scope?
Do you trust me to operate on you? No, what the hell's that on your head?
It's scary as fuck, isn't it?
My God.
Like if it was like a dentist, like their face shield is pretty neutral. They don't have targeting scopes for it, so why couldn't it have been more similar to a dentist?
You just got one thing there.
Speaking
Oh.
of technology, how is hypnosis still practical in the 24th century? Wouldn't you think like even that device with the targeting scope could like read memories or something? Like, where's your imagination? Troy's like, I know, I'll use this obscure method from the 19th century Earth. There's nothing else in a known galaxy where the Federation is concerned. Boom, hypnosis.
No.
Yeah.
Troy knows best. They need to give
Try
Troy
it
something to do.
Try it on Wesley. Yeah, my mom touched me.
Fucking hell, still going down this
My
road.
guy. The aliens, by the way, both of them. Did you notice that they talk like Kevin Malone from The Office? They reminded me so much of that, the way he utters the sentences. But if you don't, you just have to watch it again. See, I'm giving you replay value. This should motivate you to watch that episode.
No. I've got to go to the next episode. The next episode, I'm just afraid the next episode is going to be ridiculous as well.
Quite possibly. There was a point where Picard, I'm reading it off here, Picard could say, I think the answer to the problems were because of the cloud. If that had happened, because the crew are now like, what the fuck? Something's wrong with Picard. If he had said, let's go back because we think our issue is with the cloud, and he still is in the cloud's still in his mind, what's the problem with that? But you would have cut the tension in the episode. But then you realize that there was actually no real tension because the dialogue could have just been more simple.
Yeah.
So it's not very good. Instead, they just go 0 to 60 on him because he's not being 100% clear. Like immediately, I'm gonna doubt this guy, and you should doubt him too, Doctor.
It's another thing where like these episodes, even, I don't know, I've seen a pattern with Star Trek. It seems to be like they have these grand ideas in these episodes, and then it always seems to get wrapped up really quickly at the end. I've seen like a pattern evolving.
Yeah, these ones do.
And I'm watching this. Yeah.
Just wait till you get to the Data Lore episode. That gets wrapped up so fucking quickly. It's unbelievable. Going back onto the bit where Picard does the Emperor Palpatine bit, he says, this is the line, as many of you suspected, we picked up one of the alien beings, but no one did suspect anything. That's why they thought he was a fucking weirdo.
I couldn't tell what Worf was saying when he was getting zapped on the bridge. He said something ridiculous.
I don't remember that bit.
He was like, oh, he said something. I couldn't tell what he was saying.
Okay. No, I don't know.
Go back and watch.
Anything else before I give you the fun facts?
It's always interesting to know fun facts. I think I've mentioned
They're not just for you, they're for the listeners as well.
I like the fun facts.
Right, fun facts time. Mark Alimo is in this episode. The guy who plays Golda Cat in DS9.
Oh wait, yeah, he is, yeah.
Right.
Yes.
This is one of 4 appearances by him on TNG.
Yeah.
Okay. So where's Alamo? Where's Wally? Where's Alamo? You'll spot him over the next couple of seasons. The regular 24th century pads that they're using is appearing in this episode for the first time. The little tablets. This is the first appearance of them. And this is also the first appearance of the TNG era dress uniforms used until the very end of Voyager. So same ones, same design. And this is the only episode of The Next Generation to have Tasha Yar in a dress uniform. Because, well, she's gonna get nerfed in a few episodes, so she can't get a lot of costume change. I think she's peaked with regards to costume changes. She got the skirt, the mini skirt in Encounter at Farpoint. She got the belly dress in the Virus episode, and now the dress uniform. Okay, and I said before, this is the first episode where a crewman dies. O'Brien is listed as first security guard in the credits. That's fun fact number 6. And final fun fact is the original UK VHS release from 1990. The video sleeve features an oddity. An oddity. The picture is of a rehearsal footage, and it features LeVar Burton without his visor. So somehow the rehearsal footage of him picking up Worf and with Beverly Crusher. Oh, okay. He has no visor. So that VHS tape should be like a collector's item or something because it's got rehearsal footage in it.
Okay.
There we are. Yeah. So in summary, Adam, I thought this episode was ridiculous fun. The cloud monster stuff is cheesy as fuck. In fact, I think it's the least interesting part of the episode until Picard goes Emperor Palpatine. I thought the aliens hunting each other was much more interesting. And I've dropped hints at before. Imagine if there was a full-blown war on the different decks and the Enterprise security teams have to like SWAT style go in and choke all those bitches out. That would have been far more interesting. And imagine again if it escalated, Riker gets caught, then you hear about the murder, and then they're replicating things to throw at each other, and then they replicate knives because they can't replicate weapons, like physical phaser weapons. That would have been so much better of an episode.
Well, you got the cloud thing. I've noticed that we always come across cloud entities, space.
So many in Star Trek.
And like, oh, normally it's a cloud thing. And you're like, oh, great. Don't fly into it. Let's fly into it.
Right. There's the sentient cloud. There's Nagilum cloud. There's the time machine cloud. There's the cloud that's not a cloud, but an actual giant life form that looks like a cloud. There's a cloud that pretends in Voyager, if you remember, there's a cloud that reads your mind and sends you where you want to go, and it just wants to try and eat you. Holy shit.
Yeah.
There's like 6
There's
clouds
so
I
many
just thought of. Right.
There's so many.
Don't forget there's crystals in space. Killer crystals as well. Flying Strepsils, Tin Man, the Strepsil. You haven't seen that one probably. Flying Strepsil.
No.
I love it when you see ships but not ships in Star Trek.
I can't wait. I can't wait to have more of this. It's way more interesting than the new shit anyway. So I'm enjoying it for that alone.
Okay. Otherwise, like I say, I think it's fun because I get to talk and make jokes about it. It's not actually fun if you want to be entertained by the actual parts of the episode. Like, we can laugh and joke about it. People are like, oh, I'll check out this episode again if they listen to us, and they can find the funny bits. But we're finding the fun in all the flaws and all the mistakes, which actually doesn't make for a great episode. But we can't rant for 40 minutes, can we, about this?
Oh, no.
Right.
And because I'm watching this one at a time for this, I've also been checking out some DS9 as well. I know you'll probably be like, what the hell, Adam? But I've been checking that out as well.
Checking what, sorry?
DS9.
You are checking it out?
Yeah, I'm watching it, yeah.
Oh, mate. So bone. Don't talk about it. Don't talk about it then.
Why?
I thought you had the patience to wait.
There's bloody loads of TNG.
Yeah, but you skipped lots of Voyager, skipped lots of Enterprise. You could have watched For Mankind, could have watched Foundation again, could have watched, I don't know, The Expanse. You could have watched anything.
Yeah, but, I mean, I've seen most of DS9 back when I was younger, but it's just one of those things where I can just watch it and go, okay, remember that. And I'll say this one thing, Bajorans are lame, they annoy me. They're crap, aren't they? They are shit.
I'm not talking about it with you until I hit those episodes.
You will. You know they suck.
We'll have to get into it later. Well, we'll definitely do it in chronological order then, so then we don't have to wait 5 years, 7 years for DS9.
We're going to be like 70 by the time we get to DS9.
Probably. We've got about 2 minutes left. No, if we do it chronologically, then we're going to start touching on DS9 in season 5 of TNG. We don't have to wait till the end of TNG to finish.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so we'll do it shorter.
Okay.
We'll compress. Well, yeah, we'll do it more quickly. Maybe by the time we get to DS9, you'll have watched the second episode of For Mankind. Maybe it's right there. It's right there for you to watch.
Okay. Right, it's right there. It is right there.
Okay, one final note is thematically, I didn't get anything from this episode. I know you probably didn't, but if I was to make a guess, I guess avoid the fog where possible. Yeah, or don't carry lizards and mice with you in a car or in the same vehicle or something.
Yeah.
Like, what is the episode about?
That should be a thing in the Federation, or like the logbook or whatever, the rule book. It's like, if you come across gassy anomalies in space, just avoid them.
Right.
Like, don't go towards them. Don't even be in the proximity at all. Just see them and go, right, go the other direction.
Right. You know, on the MTR in Hong Kong and the MRT in Singapore, there are rules. There's like these like Ghostbuster style stickers where you're not allowed to do things. So in Singapore, you're not allowed to carry certain kinds of fruit on the train because they're so smelly. Right? So really, in the Federation, they should have a no red circle sign, warning sign, just saying no shellac and antichons on the same vessel at the same time. And if they're joining the Federation, one cannot join as a member on one starship and then find the Antican. If you're a Selayan and an Antican's already on board, you're not allowed on. You've got to be transferred to another ship.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, because the Federation wouldn't do that. It wouldn't work like that. So there we are. Okay, shall we wrap it up? We'll leave it there. Good stuff. Okay, everyone, thank you for listening. And in the dying seconds of this video, I would like to point out that the channel is monetized. Thank you very much. I'm already earning some dollars, which will contribute to the Voyager Season 8 project. Wow. I forgot to turn all that nonsense off.
That was a good time. That was good timing.
Well done.
Yeah. Okay. Well.
Okay. Bye-bye, everybody. Adam, I'll see you on the
That was
other
not
side.
intentional.
Sure.